everyone, and welcome to Dystopian Simulation Radio. I'm your host, Linz.
And I'm Chris. How are you doing?
Oh my god, I sound like crap.
Okay.
I didn't realize. I feel awful, and I sound like I have the flu for some reason. I'm just like suffering so bad. Sorry. It's really, really hot as we record this.
How do you get the flu in summer, dude?
I don't know. I'm on meds, and the hotter it gets, like I've felt like kind of faint. It's really hard to keep cool. I just don't feel good. I just don't feel good. I'm fighting for my life here recording this, everyone. So you better appreciate this episode more than the other ones. I don't think I have the flu. I just really feel bad. And I was up very late last night. Can't tell you why, but I did inform Chris the story this morning. So you know why.
Can't believe a goat takes that long to sacrifice.
How are you doing, Chris?
I am pretty good. I am, unlike you, I am enjoying the weather.
God damn it. That's good for you. No, that sounded so like passive aggressive. Genuinely meant that's good. That's good
for you, you fucker.
Oh, God. Yeah, so you're enjoying it. You've been out and about, I see.
Oot and a boot, all over the shop,
boot.
you know, just doing a bit of this, doing a bit of that.
So mysterious.
I know. I am mysterious. My agendas are never set.
I've noticed.
Yeah. Just all good, man. Like I'm going to lift back the curtain here a little bit for everybody.
Ooh.
It's been like less than a week since we last recorded, and we've talked like 4 times in the middle between those. So we don't have a huge amount of updates, but we're both good apart from Linz, who is slowly melting.
Yeah, if I don't feel all right tomorrow, I'm going to hospital. Like, this is getting out of control. Like, I was really low energy on the last podcast, and I'm like I thought I was really peppy when we started. I was like, hi everyone. And I was like, why is my voice not coming out? Why do I sound not normal? Like,
I sound like I'm melting.
Yeah, I'm really trying. I'm trying to sound like normal, but it's just not coming out. It's the weirdest feeling. I almost feel like kind of drunk, if that makes sense. Like, I'm a bit, bear with me on this one, Chris. I'm editing, so you don't have to worry.
Everybody, welcome to Linz's magical mystery tour that we're about to go on.
Yeah, God knows where this will go.
Thank you very much to our Patreons, which you can, if you're feeling generous, you can join over on patreon.com/dystopian simulation radio. We do have to say thank you to Philip Hoffman, Pip Marchie, The Toxic Avenger, Wesley, Remember the Alamo Acres, Michael M., Drake Halvig, Linz Gibson, Mike Wright, Lindsay Keller, Jamie Sook, Creepy Paper, Kash Brodarios, Cropley Crab, Riff Cult, Graves, The Ordained Sinister Minister, Patrice, Chris Lebowski, A Hawk, Michael Cunliffe, I'll get this one right this time, Ethan Clothane, and Tony Taylor.
That sounded lovely.
Thank you. I can sometimes read names.
Yeah. We're relying on you this time, Chris, so you have to.
Ethan very kindly wrote in and was like, I've been meaning to like update you guys after like, I don't know, 3 years. My name isn't Coughlin. So, thanks for saying that.
So what is it?
Clothane.
It's very pretty.
It does remind me a little bit of Clothary, though.
Yes, which I love too, but it sounds very fancy.
Very good. It's a nice name. Keep it. Don't lose it.
Yeah, we'll say it right. We'll try. We'll remember.
100% there will be another message after this, like, that is not how it's pronounced.
Yeah, like, who the fuck's Clothane?
Who's Clothane?
Oh, God. Okay, Chris, should we start?
Yes, let's begin.
Now, I know you do live in fear that I'm going to spring a Mao Sugiyama on you every time I do something like this. But we're going to start. I'm not, don't worry. We're going to start this episode with a little quiz. I want you to take a look at the following picture and tell me what it is. Just say what you see.
Okay, so we've got a small plastic case, which is lined with, looks like kitchen paper. And inside there's a brown honeycomb type thing that is full of holes, really. So it looks like some kind of burnt material of some kind. I'm guessing by the size of this case that it isn't particularly large. Maybe it's the size of like, I don't know, a £2 coin?
Okay. It's a little bigger than that. So,
A little bigger?
you're saying your guess is unidentified material.
Okay, so this looks like the remains of a hornet's nest after picking a fight with somebody who got a flamethrower for Christmas.
Or like an aerosol can with a lighter.
No, the cheaper option.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, honestly, that's a good of a guess as any. And yeah, that's kind of what I first thought. Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to tell you right now what it is and if you are right.
Oh.
However, all will become clear as we dive in to today's story. So let's set the scene. It is April 18th, 1961, Wisconsin. A 60-something plumber and part-time chicken farmer, Joe Simonton, exists. He lives in the small rural community of Eagle River that has a population of less than 2,000 residents at the time, and probably now, let's be honest. Our man Joe is no single fella. He's married. Yeah. Don't get your hopes up, Chris. He's married, but his wife works in Chicago, and she comes home sometimes? ? So, to start off, before we get into the story here, let's take a look at old Joe, and if you could kindly describe him to the people, Chris.
Okay, so here's good old Joe. Okay, so
Stunned silence from Chris.
He's a man. There's not. I mean, I'm guessing he's maybe in his. It's difficult because of the wrinkles.
Yeah.
He's a wrinkly fella, but I'm going to guess that he's in his late 50s, early 60s at this point. Maybe even a little bit older. He's got a cap on. He's holding that aforementioned mystery object in the foreground, but he kind of looks like your average Joe.
Baboom. So yeah, he's an older white guy holding a weird thing, and it's a little bit bigger than you thought, Chris.
It is. It's more about the size of a stingy piece of toast.
Yeah. So, any other guesses? Is this giving any clues? Or are you still just like a burned bit of hornet's nest?
I mean, I'm going to guess now. Okay, so we've got rural, farmer, we've got the old honest Joe over here. I'm going to guess that this is a piece of UFO that landed on his farm, and it crash landed, and it managed to repair itself and shoot away. But Joe was able to get out there and retrieve one piece of the wreckage, which was this.
And he kept it in a little plastic box on a tissue forever. Okay, well, that's a very action adventure. I like where you're going. You're definitely right. We are going down the alien route today. Classic DSR. Giving me vibes of Bob's Balls, the American version. So let's get into it. So at the time of the event, Joe lived in...
Joe's Jugs.
Joe's Jugs. That's horrible. Do you know what? You're getting somewhere with it.
Oh, no.
You have no clue, but we can use that.
Okay.
So, Bob's Balls and Joe's Jugs. You have no idea how well that works. Okay. At the time of the event, he lived in a modest wooden house where he had lived for the past 30 years. And at 11 a.m. on that very day, our pal Joe was doing the dishes in the kitchen, looking out of the window. So, he's elbow deep in, presumably, fairy liquid, when he hears what he describes as, if you would be so kind to read this quote in the voice of what you think Joe sounds like, Chris.
Okay. Knobbly tires on a wet pavement.
I always like to imagine what's going through your head before you speak in some like weird accent.
Well, I was like, I'm thinking, okay, so where's he from? Okay, so this is near Chicago? Okay, what kind of a voice is that? And then I realized, actually, I've got two American accents, which is Southern Gentleman and George W. Bush.
So he elaborates a bit and he says, it also sounds
Something like the screech of an automobile wheels. We've just got full Southern gentleman. Hold on, I've got to try and get this back. Hold on. Knobbly tires on a wet pavement. Something like the screech of an automobile wheels as a car goes round a sharp bend fast.
So he's doing the dishes and he hears this sound. So obviously he interrupts his chores. He goes outside to check it out.
Damn kids are joyriding on my property again. I'll give them what for.
Maybe he thought his wife was coming home, like really urgently to see him, like, Joe. But anyways, that's when he sees
Brenda,
it.
get out, my wife's back. Hide yourself in the closet.
That's when he sees it, what can only be described as a large chrome saucer-shaped object hovering just above the ground outside his house. He says that it comes down like an elevator. The saucer was described as being around 12 feet high and 30 feet in diameter. Now, this isn't just your regular run-of-the-mill, I saw a UFO and it flew off. No, this is something else. So, do you want to comment before I move on to what is possibly the most fan-fucking-tastic description of aliens you will ever hear?
Oh, I can't wait. So, interesting you said it comes down like an elevator.
Mm-hmm.
Which just kind of sounds like it's just a very gentle sort of like a...
Yeah, like, hello.
Take me to your leader. But a kind of classic type of, a chrome object hovering. Mm-hmm. Did you say it was disc-shaped?
Yeah, it's like a saucer. I think you said it was like two saucers or like...
Two jugs?
Shallow bowls like put together. I think the classic saucer,
Right, okay. Yeah, like one on top of the other type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Completely chrome, really bright.
Yeah, this is tracking with a lot of kind of the descriptions that we've heard before of aliens. It's nothing for this podcast out of the ordinary.
Pretty run of the mill, yeah.
Definitely is out of the ordinary though if you Jug Joe just doing your dishes.
Yeah, imagine doing the dishes and looking out. It's like, whew, that would be cool, actually.
Trying to take off your marigolds, but you can't.
Exactly, that's what I imagine.
You've kind of bonded to the inner bits of your fingers. Just like, oh, come on, I can't meet people from another planet when I've got my marigolds on.
Maybe it would have fit in more if you had them on.
Yeah. Oh gosh, dang it! They're wearing marigolds.
So brace yourself, Chris. As Joe is looking at this thing, a hatch opens. He squints his eyes, leans in, and sees 3 Italians.
Those his words, I presume.
Essentially, yes.
Right. Okay, so he sees 3 Italians. And does he think that this is is this the new Ellis Island? His farmland? That he just hasn't been told about?
1960s rural Wisconsin and 3 Italian men come down in a saucer. That's what we're working with right now. Okay, so...
Right, so it's Mario, Luigi, and... What?
Oh, Wario? They need another... Wario, yeah, of course. Okay, so 3 Italian-looking men. One of these fellas was dressed in a 2-piece suit, a black 2-piece suit. Okay. They had dark hair, no beards or stubble. They stood at around 5 feet tall, weighed around 120 pounds. And each had on a turtleneck top with what have been described as fabric helmets or hoods. Joe said they were, since you've built up such a character for Joe,
swarthy, like an Italian.
One of the occupants raised his hand, and in it was a chrome jug.
Oh no! Oh!
How have you done it? How have you done it, Chris?
I have
Bob's Balls and Joe's Jugs.
I have a gift for these things.
You do.
I just looked at him and I just looked at the word jugs just came to mind.
Oh my god, you're psychic.
Man, get me a spoon right now.
We could get you all of Uri Geller's already bent spoons and you could straighten them all.
Oh.
The anti-Uri.
The anti-Uri.
The anti-Uri gun. Oh, might have to edit that out. Anyways.
Lamb Island residents we are. So the one thing I do have to sort of just call out a little bit here at this point is the not so subtle undertones of xenophobia when it comes to Italian people. There's a lot of very, I don't know, they were swarthy. Is that a good way of describing somebody?
I've got to say I'm not too familiar with the word, but I don't know if it's used in a positive kind of way. Is it a negative word? It's a word that I never.
No, I've never used it. I've
never
it up here.
Ever used it
According
ever.
to vocabulary.com, it means dark-skinned.
Oh,
It doesn't say it's not. It says it's one of the things here is it okay to use the word swarthy? And it says it is now frequently used in humorous context, sometimes considered insensitive, as many have had exoticizing overtones or to be associated with stereotypes of ethnic groups or nationalities. So it's not, seemingly from what I'm seeing here, it's not really a derogatory word, and it seems to have a kind of sense of being dark and handsome behind it, but it's definitely not a word that's particularly used a lot these days.
yeah. I mean, I've never heard anyone use it, nor have I ever said it until now. So we don't know. But in 1960s, rural Wisconsin, this is
I mean, I suppose
that's what he said. I don't know if it's a bad. Let us know.
maybe he's been in the city and he's seen a lot of Italian immigrants and so on, and that's what he kind of has to kind of connect this to. But it's definitely connecting him to some kind of other, they were like Italians, not like us, not like me out here with my jugs.
Well, I guess he just wasn't used to seeing a tall, dark, and handsome guy with a chrome jug and a cool ride.
Yeah.
Anyways, so one of the occupants raised his hand, and in it was a chrome jug of some kind. He shook it about, which Joe understood as this Italian fella asking for water.
Okay.
The alien, quote, motioned by tipping his head backward and making a motion as if drinking water. So, Joe took the jug, walked back into the house, went down in the basement, filled it with water, went back outside, and returned it to the alien. As he peered into the craft, he noticed that it was black inside, like wrought metal iron. He said that there was a low humming noise, kind of something like a generator would make, and that there were also these big control panels inside, and the crew seemed to have their belts attached to the craft by some kind of lead or rope. Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the first times that I've heard an alien story where someone hasn't been abducted, scared, or chased, and it's just having a kind of a wordless interaction with some charades playing alien occupants of a craft, and they're just having sort of a normal, hey, could you fill up this jug interaction, and he's just standing outside having a peek inside at the interior. This is a very strange story.
Yeah, it's more it sounds more like someone's car breaking down outside your farm.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, can I borrow a spanner?
Yeah, can I get
sure. Hey, is that one of them Cadillacs you got there, boy? Hey, if I help you fix this, you take me for a ride in that thing?
It's just a German car. It's not a UFO. All right, so he's looking around the craft. He's taking mental notes. Okay, dark interior. They got some control panels there. Belts attached to the interior. Okay. So as he's looking in, he noticed that the occupants were doing what all Italians do best: cooking. They were cooking something on a grill with no visible flame. Joe didn't initially want a piece of whatever they were having, but after a bit of charades gone wrong, they allowed him to try what was on the menu. One of the fellas approached him and gave him a handful, I think 3 pieces, of a textured cookie-looking thing around 3 inches big. They're usually referred to in the telling of this story as pancakes.
Okay.
He made eye contact with one of the aliens, which was apparently so penetrating that he had to avert his gaze.
Oh, yeah.
One of the aliens gave what he interpreted to be a salute, so Joe saluted back, just as a reflex. And after that, the hatch on the craft closes seamlessly, and it shoots off, disturbing pine trees as it goes, and the whole event lasted no more than 5 minutes.
But he still got a pancake out of it.
He got 3 little pancakes out of it.
Wait. Wait. Is that what this object is? Pancake?
It sure is supposed to be a pancake, Chris.
Oh, so you got given 3, so he ate 2 of them and kept 1 for prostitution. What's that word? One for prosperity.
Well, we're going to find out, Chris, but first of all, we've got a quote about how the craft took off. So it came down like an elevator, and this is how it left.
It went up about 20 feet, tipped on its side about 45-degree angle, and then shot forth in a way to the south. There was a backwash some kind and a pine tree near the ship with a butt of about 8 or 9 inches bent completely back. As the ship shot upward at terrific speed, the tree oscillated back and forth and finally came to a stop. It showed no damage whatsoever, the trunk and the branches being intact.
Ooh.
Oh.
There
So
we go.
they've got technology to bend trees without breaking them.
Yeah.
Yuri Geller, eat your heart out.
You can bend a spoon, but can you bend a tree? Now that would be impressive. All right, we've got a little artist's interpretation as well, Chris.
I've got nipples, Yuri. Can you milk me? Okay.
I just got what you were saying. It's Joe's jugs. Okay.
Right.
Artist's interpretation of how it might have went down.
So we have
A synchronized swimmer with a jug.
Yeah, we've got. What is this? Linz, are you familiar with the geniusly named Mr. Tingle from Zelda?
I am not, actually.
Okay. So we have a man who is dressed like a variation on Mr. Tingle from Zelda, who I've just sent you a picture of there. Basically
That's awful.
Yeah, an all-over bodysuit with just the face and hands exposed, holding, well, let's call it a drug. Look, might be an iron. I'm not quite sure. And he's lifted it, kind of appearing out of a hatch from this classic 1950s style UFO that is touched down on Joe's property. Joe is standing just outside it, which makes it look like this craft probably isn't taller than about maybe 7 foot tall. So it would have been relatively tight squeeze in there.
Yeah, it is an interpretation. But
It's an interpretation. Just save it at the bottom. It says, artist's interpretation of the alien asking for water with which to make yummy pancakes.
These pancakes are going to cause a stir, Chris. They
I mean,
really are.
Technically, I mean, you need milk for pancakes, don't you?
My theory is, right, that you know how aliens normally communicate telepathically with people?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if, like, Joe had a metal plate in his head or, like, tinfoil hat on under that cap or something, but, like, my theory is that they beamed him, like, give us milk for our pancakes, and he went, what? And then he just went and got water and came back, and then they just went, oh, fuck it. Just made him with water. Okay, that's the scene, and these pancakes are going to kick up a fucking ruckus, so...
Okay.
There was a few sightings by others in the area, actually, one of which was on April 27th, so, you know, several days later, where a woman and her son said that they saw a UFO, and they said, yeah, it was just like Joe described it. Now, there is, like, a bunch of files on Joe's case, which we'll put it in the Patreon, we'll, like, a link to it. But there's so many documents. And in them, there is people who saw a UFO. So, you know, either they wanted in, they wanted part of the glory, or they really did see something. So, the burning question. What do alien pancakes taste like? I mean, by the looks of it, probably burnt.
Yeah.
We do have a little quote here from Joe with his sort of a food review, I guess.
Well, when the sauce... Why am I going so southern?
You can't help it. It's just who you are inside.
When the sauce left... There's got to be... I can do another American. Hi. Nice to meet you. Hi.
You're scaring me.
Well...
I'm scared.
But whenever I speak to you, Linz, I just end up doing this kind of southern drawl, you know.
I'm just the kind of girl.
I'm more effeminate southern gentleman. I just want to take a lady for some beached iced tea and sit on my veranda.
Oh my God, you just know what I want. That's why you can't.
Well.
You sound like Yosemite Sam.
I say. Oh no, that's Foghorn Leghorn, isn't
it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, when the saucer left, I was standing there with the pancakes in my hand that were given to me by the saucer man, and wondered what I'd seen. It was then that I took a bite of one of the cakes. It was still hot. Tasted like cardboard, as near as I can tell. So I didn't eat any more of the cakes. If I had been reading or hearing anything about flying saucers, I wouldn't have taken the chances I did. I think about it now, it scares me a little. But at that time of the landing, and while it was there, I wasn't at all afraid. I try to live, right? And I don't think there was much to be afraid of. These men were...
Yeah, you could have stopped there.
These men were... And then he's trailed off
as abducted.
The men in black have taken him. Now, one thing I do have to pick up on here, Linz.
Mm-hmm.
Damn you, clock.
Damn you, cuckoo.
Go into a cocoon, you cuckoo. So he says that the pancakes tasted like cardboard, which is interesting because presumably he must have grown up eating American chocolate, so therefore must like cardboard. Oh, that's right. I went there. Yeah, you're listening. You're all offended by this, right? Just do me a favor. Go to your nearest store that might stock British goods, okay? And I'm not saying British goods are better. I'm just saying Hershey's chocolate next to Cadbury's chocolate, there is no comparison.
Oh, there really isn't. Do you know what I found, right? I think American chocolate's all right. I mean, it's chocolate, you know? Yeah. But there's sort of like a grittiness to it.
Yeah,
there's a grittiness to it. I don't know, honestly, you could get like any... If you want like candy or chocolate, right, you could get any jelly sweet, any chocolate in Europe, like, you know, England, Germany, France, wherever. Grab some sweets. They'll be good. Even if you never heard of it, you'll be like, that's good. But like the American chocolate, you're like, what happened? Like, I don't know what process it goes through.
I think the British chocolate is just pumped full of sugar, if I'm honest, which is funny because usually it's the other way around, but...
chocolate is
higher sugar rates.
Well, it's sugary by nature. It's chocolate, unless you're getting black chocolate, like dark chocolate.
Yeah,
but it's another
of dark chocolate, really.
Oh, I do like it, but I don't really eat that much. No. I don't really eat chocolate much. But if I did, I would have a Galaxy. Oh my God, I love Galaxy.
I do like Galaxies, but I wouldn't call that dark chocolate. That's milk chocolate.
Oh, no. I said I don't really eat chocolate.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, but if I did.
No, I'm not a big chocolate person, but what I will occasionally do from time to time is...
dip my feet in chocolate and have the neighbor eat it up.
No, that's far more regular than that.
You just put your feet out the window and wait for the...
Yeah. Now, from time to time, I will eat white chocolate until my tummy hurts.
Really?
Yeah.
White Milky Bar.
I like white chocolate. White chocolate. I mean, I like milk chocolate as well, but I don't know if it's just something about the first bite of white chocolate that does me in. Where I'm just like, oh, I must have more, and then like 5 bites later, I'm like, my tummy.
Do you not think it's a bit burny? Like it burns a bit, white chocolate. I don't know why.
No, I've never thought it burned. No.
Where do you even get that?
What, white chocolate?
Yeah, I don't see it much.
Like you say, Milky Bar, or like those
Oh,
kind of like...
the idea of you, a grown 8-foot man, having a Milky Bar is just so funny.
A Milky Bar kid is strong and tough.
And only the best is good enough.
That's it, sometimes. Okay, I mean,
All right.
I'm like I said, not a big chocolate person, but just you know what? If it's like a milk chocolate cookie, sorry, a white chocolate cookie, something like that, I'll be like, oh, hello.
How did we get here?
I know,
Cardboard. Okay.
I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to eat the entire packet of you right now.
Could have said a way worse thing there.
Yeah.
Thankfully you didn't. Okay, cardboard, cake/cookie/pancake.
Yeah.
Joe later said, if that was their food, God help them, because it tasted like a piece of cardboard. And he also remarked, if that's what they lived on, no wonder they're so small. Maybe you should have brought some milk, Joe. Anyway.
If they'd come in, I would have whipped them up some real pancakes.
Aww, that's so cute. I actually love Joe. Adorable. So the media obviously went mad for this story. And Joe actually started getting letters from around the world, with no return stamps, mind you, which we'll get to later. Who writes him a letter from Australia with no return stamps? Mad. Okay. So he said that because of this, though, it had its downsides. He lost 3 weeks of plumbing work because of the event. And he was also upset that he was referred to in the media as a chicken farmer and not a plumber, because he only sold chicken eggs in his spare time, and that plumbing was his main gig. So he didn't like the chicken farmer headline. Also, and this is not funny, I don't know why the fuck do I want to laugh? That's so mean. Also, his chickens died not long after the experience.
Oh.
All of them.
Like as a result of it?
Well, that's what some people imply. It's a big coinky-dink, if you ask me. So
Yeah.
after a lot of rigmarole, the pancakes, I'm sure you're wondering this, Chris, they were actually tested.
Oh.
Yep.
And what was the result? Were they actually intergalactic, or were they just from Walmart?
Well, it did take a couple of months, but we will get into that later. There's politics to this. So, any ideas of what special ingredient or out of this world element these space cakes could have had?
Oh, out of this world element.
Yeah, they're made by aliens, Chris.
Well, you see, it's difficult to answer that because
you're not an alien.
Well,
nice
yeah,
try.
well, because we don't know many elements that don't exist on Earth in some form. So
Any
I'm
guess
gonna,
of
I'm
like
gonna have
what?
to say it's going to be like something a bit weird, like moon dust or Mars rocks, or
Right.
like
Hot off the heels of our
those-
bonus episode, I see.
yeah, those sausages from Venus. What do you call them?
Vienna sausages.
Venus Schnitzel.
Okay, well, this is their composition, their makeup. If you could just
Okay, so
read that. It's me last episode.
Hydrogenated fat, starch, buckwheat hulls, soybean hulls, wheat bran, bacteria, and radiation readings were normal for this material. Chemical, infrared, and other destructive type tests were run on this material. An ordinary pancake of terrestrial origin. So this was basically like Betty Crocker's pancakes, Aunt Bessie's, like straight off the shelf. You just add water.
Just pancakes. But how we get to this conclusion, Chris, is a roller coaster. So if you could just click this and you'll see an official talking about these.
It is outside the realm of the Air Force to pass judgment on Mr. Simonton's case. However, the pancakes that he turned over to the Air Force were turned over to the Food and Drug people, and they were analyzed as pure buckwheat pancakes.
The Air Force, Chris. So how did the pancakes get to the Air Force.
Did he mail them?
Well, I didn't think there was much else to this case after that, but I read through those files that I mentioned earlier, and I found some comedy gold. At least to me, it's comedy gold. So these pancakes really kicked up a fuss. We have a new player, and he's called Judge Carter, and he's a local judge to the area, or he was, who really believed Joe's account, and I believe, and don't quote me on it, I'll have to double check, but that he helped him come up with a little pamphlet about his experience. So he really believed Joe. He thought he was, he never made up things. He was a stand-up guy. He was honest, and he really believed him. So these intergalactic pancakes started getting, well, like you said, Chris, basically mailed around here, there, and everywhere, apart from the one that Joe kept. And this caused some real friction between Judge Carter and the director of NICAP. So if you don't know what NICAP is, or you need a reminder, it stands for the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena. And it was a UFO research organization that was active in the US from 1956 to, I think, 1980. So, back to Carter. It seems from the correspondence that Carter had mailed an unsolicited pancake and told the press that the results would be announced publicly. So he sent this to NICAP. And
What a
NICAP,
sentence.
yeah, and NICAP seemed to have no idea that this was a thing. And the exchange of letters between them is fucking hilarious. So here's one of the good judge's letters expressing, so in this one, he's expressing frustration about their lack of excitement regarding the unsolicited pancake and the lack of testing. Like, he thought, I got an alien pancake, it's going to NICAP, and they'll be like, oh my God, and they'll test it, and it'll be of alien origin, and it's going to blow the whole thing open. So, Chris, if you could kindly click the link here, go to page 10, and read the mayor's letter to NICAP.
Dear sir. No, I can't do that.
That's so funny, though.
Dear sir, on Friday, April 21st. No.
Dear Sir, on Friday, April 21st, 1961, I mailed you a letter in reference to an alleged sighting of the UFO here on the Joe Simonton property, 4 miles west of the Eagle River, Wisconsin, and also included therein one of the alleged pancakes that Simonton claimed he received from 3 5-foot men or occupants of said space machine. I mailed it on you for analysis. I have had no acknowledgement of the contents as yet. The metropolitan newspapers all over the country, Midwest, as well as TV stations, are stating definitively that you were returning the cake unanalyzed. Is this true? In one way, I wouldn't blame you, because the publicity of this case has made me tired of answering phones, letters, etc. One day alone, I had six different metropolitan newspapers telephone me and take time answering many questions. The TV stations have come here as well as UFO fans, as well as writing from all over the world. One wrote Simpson today from Australia, and many of them did not even enclose a stamp. They expect Joe to drop everything and answer their many questions. They all wanted to know my personal opinion. I replied, I am waiting for the jury to bring in their verdict. And then I would comment, meaning the report on the analyses. You and I have not believed in these so-called contact stories, and here was an opportunity to actually test one of them. Was this a hoax, or was it legitimate? The analysis might have told the tale. Who knows? Hold the cake longer, and why not analyze it? Because you represent the NICAP as the National Investigating Committee. Do you really mean this? Or is this too a hoax? Here is a chance to investigate one specific alleged contact sighting with a real or alleged exhibit other than a mere sighting. But if you do refuse to analyze it, then return the same, and I'll send it to our University of Wisconsin for analysis. If analyzed, I shall remit my dues of $5, and I will be proud to renew membership. But if not analyzed, then why should I renew? Yours for determining the truth, Judge Frank W. Carter.
Jesus Christ. Imagine receiving that about a Canadian pancake.
Sir, that judge from Wisconsin's been on the line again. He wants to know what we're doing with the pancake. Oh, God, that pancake boy's on the line again.
So, right.
He's flipping mad.
Oh my gosh. I fucking love that letter. So, like, he is scathing. He's like, you haven't analyzed my pancake. And you know what's so funny? The fact that when it eventually was analysed and it's gone through the Air Force, it's gone through like Food Administration, it's gone through NICAP, it was just a fucking pancake mix pancake.
Maybe they were hoping that it had been unanalyzed for so long that perhaps it would have started to grow mold. And perhaps it might have shown up as not of this earth.
Yeah, so if you look at this like collection of documents, I think there's like 50 maybe pages there. Further down in this collection, we get this gem of a response to Carter's letter. And I think it's between two of the NICAP secretaries. So this is a little section, Chris, from an amazing internal note that's addressing a fellow member about the judge's letter. And it's just a paragraph, but oh my gosh, if you could please.
Dear Lex, in view of the strains and frustrations here while we're fighting for survival, I'm amazed at how restrained my letter to Judge Carter is. My true feelings are that he is a stupid clod. And if his last long ranting letter is of any indication as to his reasoning ability, I wonder how many innocent people reside in Wisconsin jails. Grr, I'm enclosing his I'm enclosing his letter in my reply. He wants the cake returned. So if you want to wash your hands of the whole affair, please return it to him or to me.
Like, you know what? The alien encounter was, that was the wow factor we thought. But it was the pancakes that were the gift that just kept on giving.
Well, whenever there is an instance of an extraterrestrial reported encounter, and then we've got evidence from it, it's always the most interesting part because you can start analyzing it.
Exactly. And they're always earthly.
Yeah, they're always earthly. Yeah.
I mean, who's to say that they didn't just, get that pancake mix from another house that they stopped at? And then read it and went, true. Oh, I need water.
Hey, Zorgon, bring out the human food. Oh, yes, I think we had some pancakes around here somewhere.
It's a me, Zorgon.
It's a me, a Zorgon. Do the humans flip their pancakes? I don't know. But here's the other thing, right? Just to play devil's advocate for a second. As I said before, it's difficult to kind of say an element that these things would have.
Well, it would be something unrecognized, wouldn't it? You'd analyze it and be like, the hell is that? It's a new species of bacteria not ever seen on Earth.
Yeah, that's true. Just wondering if maybe pancakes had just kind of evolved on other planets as well.
They occur in the wild there.
Maybe they came from a planet of sentient pancakes, and it was like, much like the Gungans and the Naboo, they didn't get along. And maybe
fucking nerd.
Maybe they hunted the pancakes and brought them with them as trophies, like the Predator.
They're actually little colonies, and we're like, yummy. Okay, well, we have a real treat, and I think a rarity.
Pancakes?
Oh, I wish. I'm like check the post. I'm still checking mine. I'm kidding. But we have a real treat that is a rarity in these DSR cases, Chris. We have, if you would click that link, a fucking video interview with Joe Simonton. So
Yes.
you can pair up how you've been visualizing him this entire episode, which is apparently with his boobs out.
Yeah. Come on down to Joe's Jugs. Friendliest waitresses in the Midwest, and I ain't too bad either.
They come for the chickens and stay for the jugs.
Come for the chickens, stay for some Honest Joe.
Honest Joe's Dairy Farm.
Try my pancakes, they're out of this world.
All right, Chris.
I really hope this story is going to end with him, if this all being like a segue into him trying to launch his own pancake business.
One never knows. We could look it up, couldn't we? We could see what became of him. But yeah,
Am I watching this from the beginning?
Yeah, why not?
Right here is where this flying saucer, this UFO landed. Right here about where I'm standing. And it was a big, huge thing, and I wondered what the heck it was. I was in my kitchen having a bite of lunch, and I turned around, put the dishes in the sink, and I looked out the window, and that's when I first saw this thing coming straight down, just like an elevator. And first I thought the roof went off of my house, and I thought, no, the roof is green, and this is bright. What the heck is it? So I rushed out to see what it was, and by that time, there was a hatchway opening up in the top of it, just like the trunk of your car. And then there stood a little man, I say a little man, about 5 foot tall, holding up a jug or a container, and he motioned he wanted to drink. He motioned for water. So I walked up to him to get this jug, and I looked at his eyes, and they were so penetrating that I had to look away. So I went to the basement to get this water, and I thought, well, they want water, so I'll take it up to them and see what happens. And with that, I brought the water up, and he was looking at me when I first came out of the basement. But I didn't look at his face until I got right up to him. Then I looked up, and I handed the jug up with both hands, and I had that same look in his eyes, a sort of a penetrating look. And when he took the water, I balanced myself with this hand against the machine, and I stepped back a few steps. And then with that, he set the jug down, and he gave me a salute with the back of his hand, a gesture of thanks, I presume. And then, well, I gave him my salute. What am I going to do? So I noticed this little man, same size of a man, right by the right side of the hatchway, cooking these pancakes, which I have one here yet. He was frying these pancakes, and I pointed to him and made a gesture like eating. I thought maybe I'd get a conversation out of him. Nobody was saying anything. But he didn't say a word. He just reached over and he got a handful of them, 4 of them, and he handed them down to me. And they were hot and greasy. And this man cooking these pancakes, it was on a square grill-like concern. I couldn't see any flame, but it seemed to be very hot. There was smoke coming from it. And if that was their food, God help them, because I took a bite of one of them, and it tasted like a piece of cardboard. And if that's what they lived on, no wonder they're small. And with that, he reached up and he closed this hatch with a heavy thud click like when it latched. And you couldn't a bit more see where that hatch was than you could see a hole in my hand. And with that, the thing started to raise, just like it came down. Everything was time perfect. It went up about 20 feet. It tilted at 45 degrees, straight south, and shot off. And within 2 or 3 seconds, it was out of sight. Well, there I stood in the driveway with a handful of greasy pancakes and my mouth open, wondering what the heck I saw, what had happened.
Well, I stood there with a bunch of pancakes and my jaw wide open, wondering what the heck I saw.
And I think that is a beautiful conclusion to the story of Joe Simonton and the alien pancakes.
Yeah, that's wow. Okay, I never heard of this one, possibly for good reason. But it's very interesting that he's tried to pass this off. So, I mean, explanation-wise, I can think of one of three things. One, there was actually an alien that came down and tried to cook him some pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the most unlikely one, but the one that is being reported here. The second one I can think of is that he's doing this for fame and publicity, although we're yet again to see kind of what he's getting out of it.
Yeah, he didn't seem to get much of anything. He lost work. He got mail he couldn't really reply to.
And I don't know. I always go back to the economics on these things of like, if you don't gain anything from it, if you're not making your own situation better, or at least gaining fame, why are you doing this thing? Which leads me to the third one, which is kind of a sitting on the fence thing, is that something happened to him, and he believed this happened. And maybe he had a TLE event, much like Bob from Bob's Balls, and maybe he'd been cooking pancakes and literally did wake up with a handful of pancakes.
Yeah, I mean, stranger things have happened.
Yeah. What do you think?
I really don't know. I think it's just like, why at that age, when he's never made up anything like that before, would he just make this up and then have a local judge mail his pancakes out to UFO agencies, get the Air Force involved? Like, it's just bizarre. And then others, obviously, people do jump on like the bandwagon, don't they? They're like, oh, we saw a UFO. Like, others claimed they saw it. Maybe they wanted a piece of the pie. There wasn't much of a pie to have. And I think I read somewhere that Joe said if they ever visited him again, he would never tell anyone the story, because the first time was enough. He was like, oh, whatever, I'd never tell you guys again. Screw you guys.
Let's say I never have to buy pancakes.
Exactly. What if you ate the pancakes, you got like alien powers? Maybe he missed a trick there. He tried them, but not the full gram weight, let's say.
Oh. That would be interesting. If he just got if that was a gift from him, that they were going to give him these powers.
I also noticed his wife's name wasn't on the mailbox.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an interesting scenario that she's living and working in Chicago, but I guess one that isn't necessarily weird, especially at the time.
I just like the story. I love the story. I think it's so cute. It's so wholesome. Nobody got hurt, and there was a lot of angry, hilarious letters exchanged. And I bet they didn't have any clue that in 2025, people will be reading them and laughing at them. Their internal notes to one another about the raging mayor. Grrr.
Grrr.
But yeah, Chris, that's the story of Joe and his pancakes that were just regular pancakes. Love Joe.
Yeah, he seems a genuine, honest kind of guy. He doesn't, I'm not saying that his story is true, but he seems like, that kind of salt of the earth kind of guy. He's like,
he seems lovely.
I was just here having a spot at lunch, and then I looked out and there was a spaceship right in front of me.
Yeah, and I felt really bad. Like in the interview, one of his chickens was behind him, and I was like, oh, the chicken will be. Yeah, exactly. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have tested the chickens in the ground. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, that's the story of Joe.
Well, thank you very much for filling me in on this. I never would have guessed we'd be talking so much about pancakes today.
I'm kind of hungry now.
Yeah.
I go burn some pancakes. Send them to the FBI.
I mean, demand them back. I need to know.
Excuse me.
Have you analyzed my pancake?
Honestly,
no, you've not, because it was a crepe, and you'd be able to tell me that.
You haven't even looked at my pancake.
Yeah. You haven't even looked at my pancakes. You're talking crepe.
But yeah, look for, if you get a minute, like scroll through those documents and have a look at the letters exchanged. There's ones going to like news outlets and stuff as well, and it's so funny. It's so funny. No disrespect to Joe, love him, lovely man, but this story is so funny. It's so cute. Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much for telling us this story, Linz, and we'll see you again next time. And
hopefully,
yeah, we'll see if we can find some more intergalactic Italian pancakes.
Yeah, I hope so. I need some kind of cure for whatever's going on with me. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.